Hey, what's going on? Aaron here. Hope you're doing well. If you're watching this video right now, you might be checking out this survey website called HeyPiggy, okay? Maybe you landed on HeyPiggy, maybe you saw it on social media and you're wondering, can you make money from this survey website? How much can you make? And the big question is it worth your time, all right? Because there's many different ways to make money online. At any time, if you want to find out my favorite way to get to 5 to 10,000 US dollars per month, you can go ahead and access the free training just by clicking in the link on the description box below, and I'll send that directly to your email, completely up to you. Okay, so let's take a look at HeyPiggy. Lots of different survey websites on the internet these days. I've reviewed literally hundreds of them, and some are really good, some are not so good, and some are just plain bad. Okay, so let's still take a look at HeyPiggy because these guys are kind of the new kid on the block. And we'll take a look at whether this is worth your time and how it actually stacks up to some of the other bigger survey websites, okay? So first of all, this is an international survey website. That means you can be based anywhere in the world. But if you're based in the bigger countries, they tend to give you better surveys, okay? So if you're based in places like the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, big countries in Europe like Germany and France, bigger countries in Asia as well, you can get access to a lot of surveys. Some of the smaller countries, you're gonna struggle a little bit just because they don't really have access to you. But for the most part, most of the world, you can get access to decent surveys. The nice thing I like about HeyPiggy is that you can be 14 years old to get started, fill out surveys, and get paid. That's pretty cool because a lot of survey websites are 18 years and above, okay? So another thing about this and how it works is, well, you just click here and you sign up. What's gonna happen is in the background, you're gonna have to fill up a bunch of information about your details, yourself, your demographic, your background, and all that stuff. And then based on that, they will give you access to different surveys, okay? That's kind of how it works. Now, when you log into the back office of HeyPiggy, basically, it's a very simple website. They only give you access to surveys, which is what I like, because sometimes, you know, survey websites, they kind of combine themselves into what's called the GPT website, and then there's a whole bunch of different ways you can earn, like playing games, watching videos, downloading offers, and it can get quite confusing. But with HeyPiggy, it's purely surveys only, right? And they just fill your whole screen with surveys. And it's really nice because they will tell you exactly how much money you can make for that survey and roughly how much time it's going to take for you to complete that survey. Okay, so it's very transparent, right? So they don't waste your time. And on average, how much you can earn is between 30 cents and $2 US for every survey that you complete. There are some surveys that will pay more, $5, $7, $8, sometimes up to $10, but for the most part, I would say that 80 to 90% of the surveys are between 30 cents and $2 that you can earn per survey, which is not bad. That's pretty standard across the good survey websites out there on the internet, all right? Now, how long is it gonna take you to complete each survey? Roughly between 3 minutes and 17 minutes. That's the average amount of time that it takes. Now, you do have to take a pre-qualification questionnaire before you take the surveys, but it's very short. And then if you qualify, you can take the survey. If you don't qualify, you can't take the survey, but they'll still give you some reward points for taking the time to take the pre-qualification questionnaire, which is a good thing, okay? So you don't lose out fully, which is great, right? Now, how do you get paid out? So you can get paid out mainly through PayPal, okay? And they've got some really cool gift cards like Amazon and Spotify and Apple. Depending on where you live in the world, they will also give you access to gift cards for your local retailers. So if, for example, you live in Europe, in Germany, they might have a retailer in Germany that's not available in any other part of the world, and they'll give you a gift card for that specific retailer in Germany. It's the same in Canada, it's the same in Australia, for example, right? But for the most part, you know, you can just withdraw through PayPal. They have a $5 threshold. So you must hit $5 before you're allowed to withdraw into PayPal or a gift card. Just keep that in mind, okay? How long is it going to take you to add up to $5, right? That's the big question. So you see, this is the big problem with a lot of survey websites, right? They make it seem easy. They say you create a free account, you fill out your surveys, and then you would get rewarded. But the problem with a lot of survey websites is you can't sit there and fill out 100 surveys a day. That's not how survey websites work. For the most part, a lot of survey websites only allow you to fill in one survey per week. Okay, it's very little. Sometimes even one survey per month based on your demographic. So if you think about it, if you're only making, you know, let's just say on average $1 per survey, and you can only fill out one a month, you're only making $1 per month, right? So that's not a very good survey website. Now, the better survey websites allow you to fill out more surveys. Now, HeyPiggy is one of those, okay? So HeyPiggy, the nice thing about it is they've got a very big inventory of surveys. That means that if you log in right now, depending on where you live in the world, of course, right? So some of the big countries that I mentioned earlier, if you live in one of those countries, you're going to be able to fill out more surveys, okay? If you live in a smaller country, then unfortunately, it really just depends on where you live and you might not be able to get access to too many surveys. But even when you live in a big country, if you log in, let's just say right now, you might see a few surveys and maybe you fill out one or two and then you won't have any access to any surveys. But what you need to do is you need to log out and then log back in maybe later in the day, maybe in the evening or at the nighttime. And usually they will have a few more surveys that will pop up for you, which is good, okay? So on average, you can expect to be able to take a few surveys a day on HeyPiggy, which is good because most websites you can't even take more than one survey a day. Some, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's only once a month, right? But with HeyPiggy, you can take a few surveys a day, which is pretty cool. That means that your income generating potential will go up, all right? So again, they pay on average between 30 cents and $2 per survey, right? You can take roughly a few surveys a day. So let's just say 3 or 4 surveys per day. On average, if you're making, let's just say, you know, between 50 cents and $1 per survey, so you're earning roughly about, you know, on the conservative side, let's just say you fill out 4 surveys, that's about $2. Let's just raise it a little bit because you might fill out some bigger surveys. Let's just say $3 a day that you can make, right? That's not bad. For a survey website, it's actually very good. $3 per day. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, and it's not, but for a survey website, that's pretty good, all right? So $3 per day times 30 days in a month, you can make roughly about $90 off HeyPiggy in a month. If you're really active and you're spending a couple of hours on HeyPiggy and you're logging in a few times a day, you'll be able to probably make about $90 per month. Now, here's the thing, right? $90 a month for most people isn't life-changing income. But if you live in a country where $90 a month, or let's just round it up to $100 a month, is life-changing income for you, then I would say, hey, you know, HeyPiggy is a great way to make money for free because it's a free website. You log in for free, you don't have to pay any money, and you can make that extra money, right? But for a lot of people, $100 extra a month isn't really life-changing. Hey, it's not bad. You know, you're going to be able to, you know, download you know, you can withdraw it from PayPal for free. You can get a Amazon gift voucher for $100. You can buy your favorite headphones or, you know, speakers or mouse or whatever you want, right? But $100 isn't really life-changing for most people, okay? And if you think about it, you're still spending about a couple of hours a day on HeyPiggy, and that's a lot of time if you multiply that every day over a 30-day period, right? So here's what I would say about HeyPiggy. It's great. And if you look at the reviews, they rank very high. This is a Trustpilot, right? So 93 reviews, they've got a 4.0 rating. Generally, people give it 5 stars. Okay, very, very high, 4 stars to 5 stars. A couple of 1 stars, but very little. That's like 3%, 11%. Majority of people, 80% would say that HeyPiggy is good. You know, you can see some good reviews here. 5 stars, 5 stars, maybe 1 star here, okay? But 4 stars, 5 stars, you get the idea, okay? They rank pretty high, which is good, all right? So it's free. They have a lot of inventory. You can make an okay amount of money, not life-changing, but decent amount. So I would say that HeyPiggy is definitely one of the better survey websites out there. But just remember that, you know, for survey websites, they generally don't pay out that much anyway. So they're definitely one of the higher paying survey websites that give you access to more surveys, which is pretty cool, okay? So that's my review of HeyPiggy. You can check it out if you want, heypiggy.com, and start filling out surveys. Again, you can be based globally and be 14 years old and above. But if you're here watching this video right now, maybe you don't want to spend 1 to 2 hours a day filling out surveys and only making about $100 per month, right? Because if you have 1 to 2 hours per day free, you should really be investing that time into a skill set online that will pay you much, much more than $100 a month, okay? $100 is a good start because it's 100% free. But again, if you have that time, you can make much, much more than that online. And that's the beauty about the internet. When you know where to look and you've got the skills, you can earn a per hourly rate that's much, much higher. Okay, so if you would like to find out my favorite way to get to 5 to 10,000 US dollars per month, if you have 1 to 2 hours per day, then you can check out my strategy. I can send it to you for free. Just go ahead and click on the link in the description box below. Register for the free training. I'll send it directly to your email. Please check your spam folder, because sometimes emails just end up in spam these days, right? And then go through the training, and that's my favorite way to leverage your time, especially if you've got 1 to 2 hours per day, to get to the much, much higher per hourly rate. 5 to 10,000 US dollars a month. That's full-time income. And I would love to send you that training for free. Okay. Otherwise, I will see you on another review video. I hope you enjoyed this review of HeyPiggy. All the best to you, and speak to you soon.